line's been cut. Oh, I've always wanted to say that. We're gonna die. We're all gonna die.
What is up, Chocolatiers? Welcome back to another video today. And in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Hell of a Summer by Finn Wolfhard and blanking on the other guy's name, but they're both in the movie, so that's okay. And so Hell of a Summer is kind of like a throwback, much like a In a Violent Nature, to like a older horror movie where you just have a slasher or whatever. Except I feel like they kind of lost the plot a little bit. So this movie is a horror comedy, so it's leaning more into the comedy aspect. Think more recently like The Monkey or like a Hard Eyes, something like that. Now, out of both of those options I gave you, Hard Eyes worked for me, and I think was better than this movie. And so, if you really liked Hard Eyes, just expect to probably like it more than this one. And that's not saying this movie's bad at all. Me and my buddy went and watched it. He definitely disliked it a lot more than me. He gave it a 5 out of 10 when I asked him what score he'd give it. And, you know, I just want to talk about the positives first. So, a lot of the comedy lands for me. I actually thought the movie was pretty funny. I really think the killer designs look cool. For the most part, I like how the film's shot. At first, I kind of liked how the nighttime scenes look, but then later on in the movie, I kind of disliked it because it's pretty much literally filmed at night. And so they don't do that old 80s thing where they use like the blue light that people complained about, but then people are trying to bring it back because they realized how good that actually did look aesthetically. And now it's just one of these things like I can't tell what the hell's going on. It wasn't like Jordan Peele's Nope, like where I was like, oh, okay, he's filming this, like where I can see what's going on. And so a lot of the scenes kind of leave you wanting more because you don't see a lot of what's going on or what the characters are doing. Very reminiscent of the final season of Game of Thrones. A lot of I can't see what the hell, like what the fuck. Light this, please. And outside of that, I would say those are like my main positives. Where my complaints going is the overuse of jokes and cringe. And what I mean by that is that the main character, he's 24. It's kind of funny at first because he's very awkward and stuff like that. But then it kind of overstays its welcome. Like, I would say 30 minutes in when he's still acting awkward and goofy, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's getting cringy as fuck. And so that kind of overstayed its welcome a lot. For me, this movie did not need to be rated R. It was one of the few times where I think I've said on the channel where a film did not need to be rated R. There's no reason for its rating. Because outside of one kill, and when I say this, I mean one kill, you don't get to see the rest of the kills. They either show you the aftermath, like for example, like a head in a fridge, which I've seen in PG-13 shit before, like a head in a fridge, or like the aftermath of like something, you know, like maybe some blood's dripping or something like that. That's kind of it. Like there's at one point where this one character gets killed and they crush your head with a rock, right? And you're like, oh, shit's gonna be crazy and gruesome. And they just show the killer's POV and just show him swing, and then they show the aftermath of like the rock being a little bit bloody, and they don't show you any of these kills. Like I said, so for like one, I know that they show you something sticking on this person, and I don't know if that was like a budget thing or if they were just kind of like, we don't feel like, you know, doing prosthetics and stuff. I don't know, but that definitely kind of had you wanting for more because, you know, you don't go into a slasher film and I get some cool kills, and there's none. There's like no memorable fucking kills in this movie. Now that kind of goes hand in hand with the way this film's shot though, because there are, like, for example, the one kill they do show you beforehand, they show behind a curtain, if you've seen the trailer, where they swing an axe at somebody, and aesthetically that looks really well. Like, that is really well shot. I love how that is. It's like, oh, you see in the shadow what's happening. And then, like I said, you do get the aftermath, which is really cool, and, like, the prosthetics look really nice. But the problem is, once again, it happens once. That's the only time it happens. And, you know, there's so many things where you're just kind of wondering where, like, for example, 2 of the characters in the film, I'm not going to tell you which ones, but they end up basically escaping to the point where they can go get help. And, you know, it's a movie, so of course they both go back. But at multiple times in this movie, I was just kind of confused to why. For example, the main group, I want to say like an hour in the movie, they get huddled up in one room. So both the killers can just come up in there and just have a field fucking day. They're just like in like a small room, like a small space, like a 4x4 fucking room, only one way in, one way out, and they could have a fucking fit. They don't do it. There's also weird things where, like, okay, why don't we all just run on foot together if we're just gonna be, I mean, if you're gonna be huddled up where the killer can just get you, I'm just gonna, like, be huddled up and just be walking on the fucking road and trying to get help, right? There's a lot of weird things like that. And also, the main thing that pissed me off about this movie is the killer's motivations. It's very reminiscent of, like, a Scream 4, if you've seen that. And, you know, it worked in Scream 4, it doesn't work here. I really don't like it when the killers are like, man, we're doing this to, like, get famous, man. And I'm like, I don't like that. That's so stupid. There's other ways to get famous. You want to fucking kill somebody. It's so stupid. And so I just thought that was dumb. But for the most part, I liked the movie. I just didn't love it like I was hoping. Like, I remember, like, going into it, I was very, very excited. I came out just a little bit disappointed. So overall, I'm going to give Hell of a Summer a 6 out of 10. I think it's above average, but kind of barely. I don't know, like, I feel like after sleeping on it and thinking about it for a while, so I didn't review it last night, I definitely think I probably dropped it a point or two, because looking back now, I'm just like, damn, they really just kind of dropped the ball a lot on, like, these kills and character moments and cool shit like that, and you don't have really anything. I think the last fight is very cool shot, like, it looks awesome. But, you know, one or two cool things out of a almost 2-hour movie. Actually, it might be 2 hours. It felt like it was, because pacing is also a kind of issue too. To me, that doesn't pay off for a full-length movie. But with that, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this film. And with that, like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Saying that Demi's been killed.
You guys stole my fucking murder mystery party idea, didn't you?
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.